For some people, the only reason they wear fragrances is to get compliments. Others, they don't care at all. For me, a compliment is a nice bonus. It's a nice thing. I don't take it too seriously. And having said that, though, there are some fragrances that have really garnered me memorable compliments. So that's what I wanted to share with you in this video. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? Raj here. Hope all of you out there are doing well. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are a subscriber. Today I'll be going through 5 fragrances that have got me compliments that have been memorable for different reasons. The fragrances I'm going to mention are all linked down below with the timeline. So let's just get into the first one. So the first one, or well, really the first 2, are fragrances that are memorable in terms of the compliments that I got because they were kind of unexpected. So these 2 fragrances, this is Amouage's Epic Man, and this one is Hepcat from the House of Fleur. These are both smokier fragrances. So this is frankincense. This one is also kind of smoky incense too. They both also contain oud. This one has a spicy side to it. But also there's a freshness there too. With Fleur's Hepcat, there's also a touch of oud, tobacco, there's a spicy saffron note in there, but also has a sweetness which I really quite like. They're both fragrances that, you know, maybe in my perception of how other people will think about fragrances, I've always thought that other people won't maybe react that well to these, or not as good as maybe the fresher, soapier, citrusy fragrances. So everyone's, you know, world that they live in and people who react to them in wherever they are will be different. For me, these actually really surprised me because I got some pretty good compliments. With Epic Man, there was in my last place that I used to work at in my office, there was a girl who really enjoyed this fragrance. She always used to comment on it. She asked me for, you know, what is that fragrance? Can you send me the link? And there was one occasion that really stood out where I was just at my desk working away, and she popped her head around the corner. She said to me, "Raj, are you wearing that fragrance again?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." She was a big fan of this one, and yeah, that really stood out in my mind because for me, this was a fragrance that I wore in moderation to the office. It is maybe for some people more of an adventurous type of scent to wear, especially after the opening. The opening is a little bit funky, but it turns into a wonderful fragrance for the remainder. But it did really, really well, and that was a nice, pleasant surprise for me. You know, did it mean that I wore this every day to the office just to get the compliment? No, I always like to switch it up, but yeah, definitely a good thing. This one surprised me too because, again, it's just, in my perception, one of those that I didn't think that would do well. But it has a very strong masculine feel to it. Maybe that's one of the reasons. There are some very, very nice notes in here. And I think, to be honest, guys, as long as you don't overspray and wear anything too crazy, I think you'll be good in terms of getting good feedback. Most fragrances, to be honest, will get you some sort of positive attention, because wearing a fragrance, to be honest, is better than not. So, you know, I would always wear a fragrance every day of my life, but not everyone thinks the same. This was a nice surprise. So that is the first 2 fragrances on this list. The next fragrance on the list is Bulgari's Man in Black. I've mentioned this a lot of times on my channel before, but I'm not sure I've actually told this story. So this compliment stood out for me because it was extremely rare, right? It was an anomaly, and I don't think I'm pretty sure it's never happened again. This is receiving a compliment of a complete stranger, somebody who I haven't even spoken to. So I was out at night, I was at a bar, had ordered my drink, and I was waiting for the drink to arrive. There was a guy stood next to me, and he kind of turned to me and he said, "Hey, that's a really good fragrance. That's which one are you wearing?" We got into a little bit of a convo, and for me, maybe it's a London thing or maybe it's a UK thing, but complimenting complete strangers, just to be honest, in my experience anyway, it doesn't really happen. Maybe in your part of the world where you live, let me know, is this a common thing? Maybe, you know, Brits being a little bit more reserved and that kind of stuff means that it doesn't happen, but it stood out, you know, and I didn't go crazy. I wasn't like, oh my God, I got a compliment, I'm so happy with my life. It's just a nice thing, a nice bonus. So yeah, Bulgari, you know, spiced rum, some sort of black peppery spices, there's iris in here, really strong, sort of masculine fragrance. I like it a lot, but you know what, a woman could wear this. I would really like to smell this fragrance on a woman, but I think probably more men will will go for this one. Great fragrance. The next scenario was a date scenario. Now this is where I feel a lot of guys go a little bit crazy. I feel like a lot of men are very desperate to be liked by women and seek validation from women, which I don't think is a good trait to have. I just think work on yourself, be the best version of yourself, and that is more attractive than anything that you can do or wear, you know. So I went on the date, and of course I always wear a fragrance. I mean, I wear a fragrance every day anyway. And Dior Homme Intense, I was with this girl, we were, you know, getting close, and she said to me, that smells feminine, but in a masculine way. I really like that fragrance. And I've always remembered that one because it was kind of like, oh, kind of weird. And I was just like, yeah, thanks. But it does make sense. Obviously, a lot of people talk about the iris in here, and it smells like the inside of a woman's makeup bag. And I've always wondered, why do so many men know what the inside of a woman's makeup bag smells like? I don't know. But, you know, iris is used in lipstick, so there's that connection. For me, this is like cookies and warm chocolate cookies and cedarwood. It's quite woody actually on my skin. The cedarwood comes through really well. It's a little bit sweet, and I do mention cookies, but I don't feel this is gourmandish or overly sweet. It's a really beautiful fragrance. I used to have the smaller bottle, then went to the larger one. Great fragrance. A compliment that really stood out in my mind. And yeah, I think this is a great fragrance. Some people find this too feminine. For me, it works perfectly on my skin. I feel great when I wear it. And yeah, let me know, guys, what are some compliments that you've received on dates or any scenarios? I'd like to hear your thoughts. But there's one more fragrance to go on to, and I've saved the best till last. Coming from the house of Roger Parfum, this one is Enigma Pour Homme. This is the Parfum Cologne. I used to have the Eau de Parfum. Oh, and by the way, if I've reviewed these fragrances, I'll leave a link down below in the description box. I also have a playlist for Roger Parfum fragrances if you want to check that out. So this Parfum Cologne version, even though I do prefer the now discontinued Eau de Parfum, and to be honest, I really wish I didn't sell that fragrance. I thought, you know what, I'll sell it, I'll bring it back another time in the future. It got discontinued. I should have known better. But I've got this one. I actually got this for free when I made a purchase on the Roger Parfum website. And this one was, again, at work. And I was going out for the night. And because this is a travel atomizer, it's pretty handy to just put into your bag before you go out. So I sprayed this one on. I was still in the office. I was about to head out. And the two girls who were in the room at the time, they went crazy. They were like, oh my God, that is incredible. They just could not get enough of this fragrance. I showed them the fragrance, told them what it was all about, and they absolutely loved it. Now that was just in the opening, but this fragrance does well throughout the time it's on your skin. It lasts really long on my skin, or at least a decent amount of time. No complaints with performance. It's all about that cognac and spices and cola. Not as good as the Eau de Parfum and not as in-depth as the very expensive Parfum version, but I like this fragrance because it has depth. It still does have depth. It's interesting, it's sweet and spicy, and it is really, for me, I think one of Roger Parfum's best work. I can see why this garners compliments. And yeah, how is this one done for you if you have worn this fragrance? Guys, let me know, what are your most memorable compliments? Any crazy stories you have to tell me? Drop a comment down below. Thanks for watching, I really do appreciate it. If you'd like to contribute to my page on Buy Me a Coffee, that would be great. All the links are down below. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.